Oscars in horror movies go back to 1991 with Silence of the Lambs. This film was the first and only horror movie to ever win the Best Picture award. Silence of the Lambs has always been described as one of the scariest movies ever made. This film is a horror film, but so is Sinners. So what's the difference between Sinners and Silence of the Lambs? Sinners is a horror movie, but without all of the horror elements. Sinners is a Southern Gothic about a son of a priest joining a band of brothers to create a juke joint. The film has us going throughout the world and meeting all of these characters in order to have enough people to work at the juke joint. One of the deepest characters in the film is Smoke. Smoke is one of the two brothers played by Micheal B. Jordan. Smoke himself is a good guy at heart, but he still has a reputation to uphold. When he shoots Terry for stealing something from his car, he doesn't realize it's him immediately, but when Smoke realizes it's Terry, he goes from mad to disappointed. At this point, you may think that Smoke regrets shooting somebody who he knows, but he doesn't. He still shoots Terry's friend for trying to steal from him. This character building just adds to the reputation of being cold-hearted brothers, where if you wrong them, you will be punished or shot.
Can't have some nigga talking about how he almost robbed the twins. Not without a limp show for it.
Smoke's story is sad because by the end of the film, everyone he cares about is gone, even his brother.
Sorry I couldn't keep you safe. Don't be sorry.
To the viewers, Sammy is the main character. The audience is able to relate to his situations because all this is new to him and us. Every other character has life experience, while Sammy is unaware of the dangers ahead. He's never sinned as much. He lived at home, and now he's on a journey of sin. Sammy is not the only survivor, and he chooses to not leave the life he chose. Instead of going back to his father and becoming a priest, instead I think him keeping his half-broken guitar at the end of the film symbolizes that he lost a part of him that day. His innocence, and his inability to be who he was before that night. At the end of the film, we see Sammy in his older years at a bar when Stack and Mary enter the bar. We learn that during the night at the juke joint, Smoke made a promise to Stack that he wouldn't interfere with Sammy, and Smoke would spare Stack's life. I think some of the best parts about this movie are in the set designs and effects. The costumes and makeup and blood effects were top notch. The blood was so viscous and deep in red color, it looked real. The tone of the film went from a warmer tone to a more colder tone near the end, making it go from a story-building western to a modern-day thrasher. The cinematography and establishing shots were awesome. The best effect in this movie is when we go from all the characters hiding from the vampires to the black bars at the top of the screen and the bottom of the screen moving up and down when they start attacking the vampires. The only character I ever got mad at was Grace, because she's the one who let all the vampires in. She's the dumbest character in the movie. Even her death was dumb. To the naked eye, Sinners seems like it would be a horror movie, especially from the trailers. Over-the-top editing with some action scenes and suspenseful scenes can make the film look like it's a horror movie. But in reality, it wasn't. This film defies your expectations and delivers a masterclass on world building and storytelling. If you have seen the film, you might have thought at first it took a while to get to the action, but that was the whole point. The reason the storytelling works so well is because it makes you care about the characters when something goes south. When somebody dies, you feel that impact and you feel that loss. The way the vampires were utilized were awesome. Most films don't follow the vampire rules of sunlight, or getting invited inside the house, or holy water. They took the whole rule of not being able to enter someone's home without permission and made it the entire threat. It wasn't that you were gonna get bit and turned, it wasn't their sharp fangs, it was the fact that they were stuck around the house. After a certain point, the vampires stopped trying to come in because they realized they couldn't convince them by talking, but instead they started to taunt those inside with threats. And these taunts eventually worked. In the end, Sinners defies the audience's expectations of a horror movie with an action drama. I think Sinners should win Best Picture this year, and it's been a long time since a horror movie has won Best Picture. The competition this year is pretty stacked, but I've got faith in this movie to win. And I wonder when we're gonna get another Best Picture for a horror movie, but only time will tell.